Original Styling too, the album was very popular. 88 is, you know, the explosion, I'd say, is also the best year in rap history, in my opinion. But that was also when a little bit we started getting more profanity and stuff, and you guys really didn't do that. So why did EST, why did you guys decide not to really cuss?
We didn't curse. We didn't curse in a lot of our records because we knew at some point our parents was going to have to hear it, and we all came from a background where we had kind of strict parents. You know what I mean? Yes, used to like to play with words so much, like his vocabulary is extensive. What a lot of people don't know, like it's funny because I was telling E, because I seen the interview that he did. I said, you know, they was talking on him and, you know, talking about his accolades, this, that, and the third. And you know, everybody talk about who's your top five or who's your top 10 MCs, this, that, and the third. And even when they talk about that 88-ish, you know what I mean, type of genre or whatever like that during that time, he seldom get mentioned. And I said, man, you got to start letting these people know what time it was, because you was holding your own with the Kings. People, I remember we did New York, and when we did New York, cats from New York, though, we was from New York, and he was talking about his lyrics, this, that, and the third. Kane, at the time, was in his 20s. ES, when he did these records we've been talking about, was 16 years old. So that 16-year-old little boy rapping like that. You know, word diligent, any piece of loose leaf, I'm feeling it. So I could be right to rock mics and be killing it. This is 16-year-old, not 22-year-old man. That makes a difference. So imagine him at 22. You know what I mean? But he felt the need, like I don't have to curse to get my point across. I'm well spoken. You know how I used to be. You remember hip hop back then? Every artist, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? it was like, you know, you have absolutely no grammar, no vocabulary, no nothing. They weren't well spoken. They weren't groomed like that. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't want to come off like everybody else. Just like we couldn't speak. You know, oh, you speak so well. That's just how we speak.
Fair enough.
We can convey ourselves in a proper manner, intelligently, without pausing every second and be like, feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, just all that. I mean, to each his own, but that's where we was coming from with it.
Makes sense. And with Original Styling, as Funky Dividends is such a big single and it's getting radio play, it's getting video play, it's getting all these different things. Um, then did things kind of change, like, or not really still?
In regards to what though?
Like, or how did things change, I should say. How about that?
Well, when we did Dividends on Arsenio, it actually wasn't supposed to be Dividends. It was supposed to be Greatest Man Alive by Aristus and Deron Real up there. We had just completed Dividends. It was going to be the next single. We didn't have a routine set up for it. We never rehearsed it. We never practiced the song. We just went in the studio, cut it, and next thing you know, they're sending us that reel. The single we were on at the time was Greatest Man Alive. Had we done that, and it's more up tempo, the crowd response would have been different. Not that the crowd response was bad, because it wasn't, but it could have been a lot better, because anytime you sing a song somebody never heard before, I don't care who you are, they're just unfamiliar with it. And it's slow paced, as opposed to a song that everybody knows what it is. I mean, it was heavy rotation on the box, heavy rotation on radio. It's a major difference. We put the reel up and it's Dividends. It's like they did it to us again. But after we did that performance, when we was coming back from the airport, when I say everybody in there knew who he was, we used to frequent the airport all the time when we was doing shows and stuff like that. And you get a few people, oh my gosh, 3 times double. Now it's like everybody in the airport, grandmas, blacks, whites, greens, orange, pinks, yellows. Everybody, it's like those are the guys who's on the scene. That's 3 times dope. That made a big difference. At that point, I remember me, ES, and Larry Lair were in the mall one time, and they kicked us out the mall. And we were like, why we gotta leave? It's like, look around. It was 3 tiers to the mall. We was in the middle tier. It said, look around, look up, look down. We look over the railing. Everybody was on the floor we was on, trying to get autographs. He said, nobody shopping, man. You hurting our business. He said, and in addition to that, if something was to happen to you guys, our insurance ain't gonna cover it. So basically, he said in a nice way, get the hell out.
And what mall was this? Where were you?
This was in the Gallery in Philadelphia, man. We got kicked out of there, and we got kicked out of Great Adventure. After we finished the second album, we called ourselves going to an amusement park to have a good time. We finished the album, let's kick back. Wrong. They sent security. It's like, I got to leave. Nobody's on the rides. Everybody, we signed the T-shirt. We signed the people backs. We signed other things. It's just, it was just bananas, man. Like, they made us leave.
Well, speaking of leaving, how and when did the separation with Hilltop Hustlers and Lawrence happen?
It's funny because I saw your interview with Tat, and Tat kind of explained it like he came over here and like like he put me down with what was going on. I don't remember that like that. Not quite like that. What happened for me was I had already kind of had my suspicions, and I think we all did, because for somebody to keep telling you your record ain't selling, but every time you walk down the street, dozens of cars are rolling past playing your album. Every city you go, not just in your town. When we go to Arizona, New York, it's the same thing. DC is the same thing. Like, there's a lot of people playing our record for us not to be working right about now. That made us suspicious. What really made it suspicious for me was we was in Arizona with Lawrence Goodman. We took a meeting with him. And what Lawrence would do is he would if they started talking about business, like if you're the artist and you don't really know the business and he don't want you to know the business, and somebody start talking about something he don't want you to know about, he'll change the subject real quick. He'll do it smooth, but he'll change the subject. The next thing you know, you're talking about something else. And if he can't change the subject, then he'll leave or have you leave. Let me talk this guy along for a second, or something like that. What happened was, one time we was in there, I had to use the bathroom, and I was like, can somebody tell me the bathroom? It's on the 6th floor. So he was so busy talking that he didn't realize they told me go to the 6th floor to use the bathroom. I went to the 6th floor to use the bathroom. Man, you'd have thought I shot Jesus Christ, cuz, when I came back. Like, where were you? Hey, you don't need to be rolling around this building like that. Blah. I said, dude, I just went to the bathroom. And I came right back. He went ape. And from that point, I was like, man, it's something. Nobody gets that upset at somebody just using the restroom. There's got to be more to this story. And, I remember we went back, it was me and Wood with our ear. We went back and we said, we asked Harris, they said, is this something we should know that's going on with the business between us and Lawrence? And, they couldn't speak on it. So what the one guy said was, listen, I can't speak on it because of legalities. But all I'm going to say to you, if you think something's wrong, 99.9% of the time, something's wrong. And, after that, it was just like, it was just real skeptical. Me and Tat did talk about it in the living room, but I don't think he initially sparked like he knew and nobody else knew, like he conveyed. Or maybe it just wasn't conveyed to us that we was already feeling like that and knowing that. Plus, like I said, Jeff and them sat us down, and they kind of they explained publishing to us at the time. We didn't know what publishing was. You know, everything they were saying that happened to them was happening to us, but currently, real time. So, yeah.
So,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, like after that, it was just like it was time we supposed to get a record royalty. It's time for us to get our royalties. That had came around, and we sitting in there waiting to see what, you know, our so-called royalty is gonna look like. And we was let know our personnel that, yeah, you guys didn't really sell too many records. In fact, I spent more money than I made, so you guys owe us $13K. Now, while this is going on, we literally in the new house the boy the boy brought. You $13K in the hole, you choose that time to upgrade your home, and we watching a bulldozer in your backyard dig up your in-ground pool. Then said, well, and what came after that? What came after that was one time we was up in the living room. This is after all this, these different things you saying that's confirming something ain't right. He wanted an ink pen. He's like, go downstairs where we rehearse and, you know, get an ink pen out of my desk drawer. So I go get an ink pen out of the drawer. I see a ledger. It's basically a ledger talking about everybody's sales. Everybody on the talking about. So quite obviously, I got curious about us. So I went in there and I was trying to look for 3 times dope real quick. I'm like peeping up the stairs, make sure you don't see me. I'm looking through there, but I didn't see ours, but I saw Cool C's. And when I saw Cool C, because I had talked to Cool C about it, it wasn't what he was quoted. In fact, it was far off. So I wanted to sit down with Cool and say, listen, man, I won't cause no problems or whatever, but just keep your eyes open. This is what it actually said. Before I got a chance to say that to him, someone else conveyed it to him. But they told me they conveyed it to him. And when they told me they conveyed it to him, I immediately called Cool. I said, Cool, listen, man. All of us going through the same thing. We currently looking for a way out. You know what I mean? Like, keep it under your head. You know what I mean? Act like everything normal. Because the element of surprise, you don't want them to get them prepared for what you're trying to do. And Cool immediately went back to the source and said, Chuck said you said this and that. Ooh, ooh. And I was like, wow. When I tell you, he threw me under the bus like all tires simultaneously. I said, wow. So, you know, man, why would you tell Cool that, this, that, and the third? And it was just a big mess, man. It was a big mess.
So then how did you end up getting out of the contract before Live from Agniculus Land came out?
We got out the contract during Original Styling.
Wait, during the promotion of the album or recording it or what?
During the process of it. Matter of fact, we was on our way out before Dividends was recorded. What happened was the contract we had was really binding. And the attorney let us know who would put this contract together. They dotted their I's and crossed their T's like we really don't see a way for you guys. You guys might have to just eat this one. Be like, wow. So then he calls back a couple of days later. He said, let me ask you a question. How old is EST? He's 16. Because I don't see his mom's signature on the contract. And he's a minor. I think his mom didn't sign the contract. It was just me, Woody Wood, and EST. Let me call you back. They immediately went into, we're going to drop ES out the group because he's a minor, because his contract ain't binding. and Woods is, but we're just an instrumental without E. Now, you got these guys there instrumental. You really can't do nothing with it. It's just an instrumental. You have nothing. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to give you a couple dollars, leave these guys alone. At least you get something out of the deal. And that's how we got out.
Wow. So did that happen?
Been of age, we'd probably still been there. That's probably still been in there.
That's amazing. And I wouldn't have realized he was that young at the time either. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was 16. Actually, he was just turning 16.
So that being said,
he looked older. Like I used to call him Tom Selleck because he had a thick ass. I'd be like, come on, Selleck. I used to joke with him like that. But even in one of the records, he said, you didn't even know that ES was a young boy because he was only 16 years old. People thought he was grown, and he wasn't.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the DOC, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.